As the warm summer air rolls in and the Christmas lights start to twinkle, many of us here in Australia begin to think about our festive feasts. It's a time for family, friends, and of course, fantastic food. On many tables, the star of the show is seafood, with prawns and lobsters often piled high. In fact, over the Christmas and New Year period, we Aussies eat a staggering amount, around 18.5 million kilograms of prawns alone. It's a tradition we love, a symbol of a classic Aussie summer celebration. But as we prepare to fire up the barbecue, a question is starting to surface, one that might make us pause and think. For a very long time, most people assumed that creatures like prawns, crabs, and lobsters were too simple to feel anything much. We've often treated them more like sea-dwelling insects than like other animals we eat. The common belief was that their nervous systems weren't complex enough for them to experience feelings like pain or fear. This idea has shaped how we catch, handle, and cook them for generations. However, recent science is beginning to tell a very different story, challenging our old assumptions and asking us to look at these animals in a new light. It's a conversation that's growing louder, especially as our love for seafood continues to grow. The big question that scientists are now exploring is this: are crustaceans sentient? Sentience means having the ability to feel things, like pleasure, distress, or pain. New studies from all over the world are providing compelling evidence that suggests the answer is yes. Researchers are discovering that these animals are far more aware and sensitive than we ever gave them credit for. This isn't just about a simple reflex, like pulling your hand away from something hot. The evidence points towards a genuine capacity to suffer, forcing us to reconsider the ethical side of our long-held holiday traditions and our relationship with the food on our plates. This discovery puts our festive traditions under a new kind of microscope. The prawn, lobster and crab industries are worth over $1 billion in Australia, and trillions of these animals are consumed around the world each year. Given their massive role in our economy and our diet, understanding their capacity to feel pain is incredibly important. It's not about ruining Christmas or making anyone feel guilty. Instead, it's about becoming more informed and making choices that align with our values as people who care about animals. It's a chance to think about how we can continue to enjoy our favorite foods while also being more compassionate. When we think about intelligent animals, our minds usually jump to dogs, dolphins, or primates. We rarely, if ever, put a prawn or a crab in that category. But scientists are finding that crustaceans possess surprising cognitive abilities. Studies have shown that they are capable of learning and remembering things in ways we never thought possible. For example, some crabs have demonstrated the ability to navigate complex mazes to find food. What's even more impressive is that they can remember the correct path later, showing that they are not just acting on simple instinct, but are retaining information and using it to solve problems. This capacity for memory extends beyond just finding their way around. Professor Robert Elwood from Queen's University Belfast has conducted studies showing that crustaceans will remember painful or unpleasant experiences. In his experiments, he found that they will actively try to avoid places where they have received a mild electric shock. They will even give up something they value, like a dark, safe shelter, to avoid the unpleasant stimulus. This behavior suggests that it's more than just a reflex. It indicates a conscious memory of a negative event and a desire to avoid feeling that way again, which is a key indicator of pain. The social lives of some crustaceans are also surprisingly complex. We tend to see them as solitary creatures, but some species form remarkable relationships. A great example is the pistol shrimp, which forms a lifelong partnership with a goby fish. The shrimp, which is nearly blind, digs and maintains a burrow that both animals share. In return, the goby fish, with its excellent eyesight, keeps watch for predators and alerts the shrimp with a flick of its tail. This symbiotic relationship shows a level of cooperation and social bonding that hints at a more complex inner world. and an ability to form meaningful connections with others. Professor Sneddon, a leading expert from the University of Gothenburg, argues that these abilities to learn, solve problems, and form relationships are all strong indicators of sentience. A recent 2025 study from her university even recorded bursts of brain activity in crabs that were similar to pain responses seen in other animals. These findings, combined with their complex behaviours, are leading many scientists to conclude that we should give crustaceans the benefit of the doubt. If they act like they feel pain and show signs of intelligence, we should probably assume that they do. With this growing understanding of crustacean sentience, it's important to look at the common practices within the seafood industry. Unfortunately, many of the standard ways we catch, transport, and prepare these animals are now being viewed as extremely cruel by animal welfare experts. One of the most widespread and controversial methods is boiling lobsters and crabs alive. For a long time, it was thought to be a quick death. But scientists now believe these animals can remain conscious and struggle for over 2 minutes in the boiling water. A truly horrifying thought when we consider their capacity for pain. Another deeply concerning practice found in some prawn farming operations is called eye stalk ablation. To encourage female prawns to spawn, one of their eye stalks is cut off or crushed. This crude procedure, which effectively blinds the animal, causes immense stress and injury, all for the sake of speeding up reproduction. Similarly, the way crabs are handled during transport and sale is also a major welfare issue. They are often packed tightly into crates, sometimes with their claws strapped with tight cable ties for days, and can even be dismembered or butchered while they are still alive and fully conscious in busy markets and kitchens. The legal protection for these animals in Australia is patchy and inconsistent. While the UK and New Zealand have officially recognised in their laws that decapod crustaceans are sentient, Australia lags behind. The ACT is one of the few jurisdictions that includes them in its definition of an animal, but in states like South Australia and Tasmania, they have very little legal protection from cruelty. In many places, welfare rules only apply at the point of sale in a restaurant or fishmonger, ignoring the long journey from the ocean or farm, where much of the suffering can occur. This lack of protection and the prevalence of cruel practices are prompting calls for change. Animal welfare organisations like the RSPCA are advocating for a ban on selling live crustaceans to the public, arguing that very few people have the training or equipment to kill them humanely. They, along with many scientists, recommend that these animals should be stunned before they are killed, making the process instantaneous and painless. From a practical standpoint, Professor Cullen Brown at Macquarie University also points out that the extreme stress these animals endure actually harms the quality of the meat, affecting its flavour and texture. As we head into the festive season, this new information doesn't have to mean giving up our favourite seafood traditions entirely. Instead, it offers us an opportunity to become more thoughtful consumers and make choices that are more ethical and humane. The power to drive change often starts with the questions we ask and the products we choose to buy. When you're at the fish market or supermarket, don't be afraid to talk to the retailer. Ask them where their prawns or crabs come from and what methods were used to catch and kill them. Your questions show that animal welfare is a concern for customers. One of the most impactful choices you can make is to avoid buying live animals. Taking a live lobster or crab home puts the responsibility of killing it humanely on you, which is very difficult to do correctly without proper training and tools. Instead, look for products that have already been killed. The most humane option is seafood that has been caught and then quickly stunned before being killed and flash frozen. This method minimises suffering and, as a bonus, often results in a better quality product for your Christmas table. Seeking out these alternatives sends a clear message to the industry that consumers care. Scientists and animal welfare groups recommend several methods for humane slaughter, though they are rarely used commercially due to time and cost. The gold standard is electrical stunning with a device like the Crustaceans, which renders the animal insensible in less than a second. Other methods include rapidly chilling the crustacean in a specific salt ice slurry to make it unconscious before it's killed. While these aren't options for most of us at home, choosing products from suppliers who use these better practices is the best way to support a move towards a more compassionate industry for everyone involved. Ultimately, the choice is yours. The simple act of enjoying a prawn or a lobster this Christmas now comes with a bit more to think about. By arming ourselves with knowledge and making small but meaningful changes to our shopping habits, we can help reduce animal suffering. We can encourage the industry to adopt kinder practices and still enjoy a delicious seafood feast with our loved ones. This festive season, let's make a toast not only to good food and good company, but also to making more compassionate choices for all the creatures we share this planet with, big and small.